Hey guys, so in this video I'm going to be looking at one team playing. They're called Neighbahood, and I'm going to see, what they do wrong and what they do right. I don't have too much time to devote to it right now, and so I'm just going to do this kind of on the fly. I've watched one run through really quickly, but we'll see what I can pick up and what I can say that might help a little bit. So we're going to skip the knife round, skip the restarts, and we're going back into it. So right now you see they're going to be on the CT side. They have one guy buying units. So how it's looking right now is they actually only have one. Okay, so they have 2 armor, which is a little bit weird. Nowadays, usually you see the 4 armor, and then the one guy with the nades, or the 3 armor, and the kit, and then another guy with a full set of nades. So that's a little bit weird, but that's fine, I guess, because he wants the upgraded pistol. So what we're gonna see here is 3B. What I normally like to see if you have 3B is either gonna play a super defensive with crossfires going at it, or you're gonna see a quick P play. And the thing that I don't like right now is that Foxy right now is a little bit behind, but we'll see what goes on with that. Their A setup, they should actually be playing a little bit more passive. I know that this guy is gonna throw a flash and then peek mid. That might be a little bit too aggressive, honestly, in my opinion, just because they have 2 people there. And if the other team gets a pick on A real quick and decides to rush up, that could be a problem. But let's see what these guys do. So they're going to peek banana, see nobody's there. And then they're going to rotate to both guys off there. So now we're going to look at this guy right here. So he saw that there was one guy, he killed him, and there's a second guy right now, right? What he should really be trying to do is run away. Basically, he has his team rotating over, but right now if they flood out and they kill him, that's just kind of a free pick, and there could be other guys, right? He didn't see the first guy. Maybe there could be other guys that he didn't see. So as he's shooting, he should start to fall back into arch at least. Try to get a little bit of cover. Try to a little bit unfortunate, but maybe he should have fallen back a little bit. Maybe he shouldn't have been that aggressive at all. Who knows? It's definitely pretty risky though when you have only 2 people on the site, because if they throw smokes of some sort and they block off like library or arch, then they're kind of screwed at this point, right? Because they only have the one guy in the A site. But this team right now, they just have armor. So right now, what happens? We have one guy arch. Was this library guy peeking? Yeah, he is. We have a library guy peeking. Maybe you should try to work with the arch guys so that they can, library guy hides a little bit, and arch guy will shoot. When arch guy shoots, library guy peeks, something like that. Try to work together instead of just being one-on-ones. Even though it's long range, it can still be pretty unfortunate. See, the way it works right now is the library guy peeked first, but they still know there's going to be somebody arch. Like, you have to check that at least. So the other way around is if there's going to be a guy arch and he shoots, well, they're like, okay, their rotator's arch. Maybe there's not a guy library. Something like that. Because it's more common for somebody to be, arch than library. Especially on a first pistol round where you're already assuming maybe they have a guy playing CT spawn as the rotator that is going to be sitting in arch. Something like that. So right now as it stands, Capo right here is kind of screwed. They're going to send 2 guys B. He's going to get destroyed. Meanwhile, the rest of his team is just going to get some kills on A and fake it a little bit. But let's see if they can hold, right? So this guy's probably going to die. Yeah, he dies. Leaving the library guy that they know he's there. But why did Capo die? Let's look into this a little bit more. So he's playing way too wide of an angle. Basically, what he wants to do is, if you're ever a solo in the site, you actually want to play somewhere in it. You want to either play behind second, play behind new box, play behind emo, behind spools. You want to play somewhere where they're going to have to be in the site to clear you. And if you're going to play a little bit aggressive at that angle, you can get one, and you can run away and hide, right? Something like that, where you can call out for the team. Right now he's playing too wide of an angle, and basically they can actually kill him, right? Because of the distance that they're at. I think this is close to 1-hit kill range, and that's probably what happens, right? I didn't see, maybe it was 1 or 2. But still, he's playing somewhere like New Box, especially on pistol, right? Where he has the clear advantage, where it's just one hit to kill him. So now we have this arch guy from, he was the pit player, and we have this library. And then there's a guy here, probably because of sound, something like that. And they're coming to get this. But now he knows they're both CT, right? So they can basically just play against this. They do have a kit, you know, which is nice, but they have no armor against Glax. Basically, there's no way they're gonna win this. I might have almost just saved the 5. Nah, I wouldn't. I mean, Inferno B. Bomb already been playing for a while. Maybe you get lucky. Maybe you actually just try to save the 5-7 in the kit for the next round if you want to buy up. But it's definitely worth it to go in to see if you can like scavenge around. So right now, as it is, they're deciding not to do the second round buy, which is fine. Right? They want to get an op into the guy's hand. But what I don't like is how they don't really try to stack a site. We have 3 P250s. Where are they? They're all the B players, which is nice. So it's kind of like a stack. Not really, but it's something, right? Something better than nothing. So what are they going to do with these flashes? They have 2 right here. Let's see. They're going to throw this, and then they're all going to peek. Okay, basically, okay, so apparently they're like doing this thing where they're going to peek, and if nobody's there, they're just going to rotate, which is fine, right? It's a save round, the first save round. And these guys are playing super passive on A. So what I don't like is how passive they're playing. Whereas, okay, there's a guy here on porch, and there's a guy here in library. So what can you really do with pistols long range? Well, really not too much. Maybe it's because... Okay, never mind. Maybe because, you know, they have non-upgraded pistols, they didn't feel too comfortable. But what they're basically doing is just allowing the other team to come in. Like, he shouldn't have gotten that kill. Did that guy not have armor or something? Like, what happened to him? Basically, now they come into the site, they just got 2 picks, and it's basically theirs, right? The round's over. I don't see anything that these players can do. I think they just get like cleaned up and die, probably. Yep, run by.
Bomb has been planted.
Let's watch. 3 health. They should be dead. Oh my, that's rough. You hate to see that.
Terrorists win.
Okay, so basically, you know, like, use a throwaway round anyway. But definitely, if you're gonna have rounds like that, try to stack something. Maybe just invest 1 smoke, throw it down B, so that maybe it funnels them A real quick. Who knows? You know, try to just do something gimmicky. Because you're not gonna win by not doing anything. And even if they did go B, that 1 flash isn't probably gonna flash them all, and the B players probably all die when they peek. Because they weren't clustered up at all, they were gonna peek 1 by 1, it looked like, because of the distance in between them. So right now, what's this other team doing? Well, they're gonna run down ult, right? And, you know, once again, we have a couple upgraded pistols, non-upgraded pistols. They're just trying to get some money so that they can get a decent buy in the next round. This guy, in the round, he actually just hides in the smoke. I don't know how they don't spam him at all. Kind of interesting, but he hears them all run by Arch, right? And he's going to play around this. Meanwhile, this porch guy, is he going to do anything here? So he does nothing. This guy gets a kill and he picks up a P90, right? And he's like, oh, we're going to buy next round anyway. Let's just run in. Try to get something. But let's look back into that round, because I definitely feel like they could have gotten more than the 2 picks. So let's see where their setup was and what they're doing. So basically what they have right now is everything that the terrorists don't have, right? They have arts, they have library, they have mid control as well. So they should be trying to pinch. So what do they do? Okay, so obviously that's a kill, right? Now they're going to have apps control, they're going to have lane still, and they're going to have this library area. So, and the bomb's not even planted, right? So how do they go about this that they get killed? These 2 players are playing pretty together, so they should definitely get this trade kill. Oh, he gets destroyed by this Zerga pit? Yeah, okay. I don't know, you know, unfortunate, but it's alright. This guy basically just waits here and dies.
Terrorists
What I would have liked to have seen though is a lot more of just clustering up. I don't know, they went B and then they went A. You know, so it's not like you can just say, hey, they're gonna go here, or hey, they're gonna fake us and go here. But definitely try to cluster up and get something done as a unit, and instead of just taking the one-on-one duels where you don't have armor. So there's not much you can do. So what's gonna happen? Well, this guy's gonna come mid with his op, right, that he just bought. He's gonna go peek it, right? I guess he's expecting some nades, and then he flashes over and peeks, right? And maybe he's thinking, hey, they might have an op. I don't want to peek too far, but I definitely think it's something he could have done, right? Why don't... The other team didn't buy AKs, which is rather interesting, and they didn't buy ops. I don't know exactly what they're doing. They know the other team just double saved. That's kind of weird. But let's look at this B defense. So, basically what happens is, he's going to throw this smoke, and let's see what he does from here. So this other guy's watching that angle, right? But right now, when he backs up, what happens? So basically, you have one guy watching this angle, and I guess he assumed that his teammate would be spool still, so they can get this cross angle. They flood him out through a smoke, and if he was placed anywhere where he could actually shoot, they're all looking at him. They would like just mop him up just if he stayed there. He gets one kill and then dies. So basically, they got 2 for 2, which I don't think is too good on the B-bomb site, especially when it's your first buy round. So definitely, if they were peeking the same angle together, maybe there was some miscommunication. Who knows? But I don't know. That should have been said. Now, other than that, they should have called out that somebody was CT, and I don't think that happens. We're gonna see what happens here.
Bomb has been planted.
He's coming up banana. There's an opera here. It's like he just doesn't know, right? This guy doesn't. Luckily enough, though, he does notice. This guy's just, I don't know. I guess he couldn't see anything, so he just decided to hide in the smoke and thought he was covered. But basically, they come in here and, well, they're gonna get this. I think they do at least. So, you know, whatever, it's a fine retake. They just throw some flashes and they just out-aim the other team, basically. The other team is peeking all these angles that they shouldn't have been. So they take advantage of it and they kill the team, right? So it's really important to keep in mind the number. So they were alive with 2 people left, which means their next buy really isn't going to be anything too extravagant, right? Let's see how many FAMASs do they take out. 3? 1, 2, 3? Okay. But, you know, they still have the nades. That's what's important on Inferno, right? It might not be FAMAS versus M4, but you have a nade that you can work off. So we're going to see what does this guy do. Well, is he going to do the same flash? Okay, what I really like is he's not, you know, overstaying his welcome. He's just going to chill here and watch the alt push. While his teammate over here is, you know, watching for anybody to rush up mid against him on the other side. Right, that's pretty nice. I like that. What's going on here? Well, they're going to throw an early smoke, which I think is a little bit unnecessary, considering the timer still, and I doubt that anybody came up B because there's just nobody here, right? So nothing really forced them to throw the smoke, but they did it. I don't know, maybe they have something, maybe like they don't feel comfortable with the FAMASs or something, I don't know, I'm not too sure. But they've already used up 3 smokes within the round, which I think is pretty excessive, and that's why I don't like it too much. Oh yeah, this. I was gonna point this out. I don't really know what this is, either. I think it's Kraft, who keeps throwing smokes a lot earlier in the round. So basically it's 140, right? They're just gonna be coming up apps. And he throws a smoke here, which kind of confuses me. And not only that, but he's also peeking into the smoke. Basically, they're gonna spam that, right? They're just gonna be like, okay, there's a smoke there. Why not shoot through it? They know we're in apps. It's not a mystery that we've taken over apps of any sort. So I'm going to spam the smoke, and that's what the guy does and what he should do, right? I don't think he gets hit at all, but yeah, so he spams. It's basically the smoke is kind of worthless. Does this nade hit at all? So yeah, I feel like they've already used up 3 smokes. Sure, they have 2 Molotovs left, but there's a minute 20 left in the round, and that definitely favors the T side when they have 4 smokes and can do a full execute wherever they want. Also, what I'm not too big of a fan of is that Capo is already rotating. So it's a 5v5, and you don't really have too much utility to help your B bomb site, and you don't know anything about the other team yet. So basically, this is a gamble play. Oh, I guess he's coming back to B, which is nice. Oh yeah, he's gonna do this. I guess it's something they've set up on their own. He's gonna throw a flash when the other guy over here spots or hears anybody B, and then if he wants, he can peek it, or he can just use the flash to delay them. I think it's pretty creative. I don't know if it actually works, but I assume it does. Meanwhile, you have this guy right here, and you're just waiting, right? I guess this guy just runs through porch and dies alone. Something he shouldn't have been doing. I don't really know what else to say to that. The other team definitely seems a little bit buggy throughout this game. So he throws his Molotov. Maybe he feels like there's going to be more people coming. Who knows? It's fine, I guess. But I would have saved it. Definitely, if you're going to be the pit player, you're probably one of the last people to die, which means you can use your Molotov whenever you want. I probably would have saved it a little bit, but I guess he just doesn't feel comfortable enough to use it. I mean, not use it. Basically, now you have everybody falling back, right? The other team is throwing their execute out. They're throwing smokes onto the A bomb site. Yeah, I don't see any, but they are. So he's in the op, from this angle over here, while this guy keeps lane, and this guy is keeping your halls, right? That's a fine setup. Everybody's watching an entrance over by the A bomb site. He comes, throws his grenade, and then there's a million people. Definitely, I saw he was doing it in this last peek. He's definitely peeking way too far into it, especially with the op. As you turn, your scope's going to show you, and when you peek too far and you get hit with an op, you can't move anywhere. So you're basically just a target to get killed at. So definitely, he should stop wide peeking that so much. Maybe he shouldn't have actually even thrown the nade. He should have just kept scoped in. But he has done some nice damage, which is pretty cool. So now what do we have here? We have that rotator guy, right, sitting in spawn. So what should he do? He should definitely check to see if they keep going forward. So watch maybe like a crack in the angle, or maybe even watch this wide if you want, and try to get one and then just fall back. Basically, split your defense 2-2. Because if they have arch, they have the middle of the map, so you almost have to give it to them. You can't play against them at all. And that's what happens here. Okay, he misses the guy. He sees him. And what he does here is he actually aggresses too far. See how wide his body is right here in this opening? He should definitely have found a smaller crack, maybe right here, just to see if they're going to come through arch or not. Or definitely just falling back to B. Because right now you want to play super defensive. You just lost your opper. And now they have an advantage in people. You don't want to give them any... Well, no, they didn't... Well, now then it was a 4v4. You don't want to give them any sort of advantage, right? The opper probably called that there's multiple people, so there could be multiple people rushing arch, and that means there's multiple people that are going to shoot into you. And of all guns, you have a FAMAS, right? So there's not really too much you can do. No amazing sprays you can pull off, so I would definitely pull a little bit passive. How are the A players doing this? Well, one guy's in pit, and one guy is in sight. So basically, technically, the pit guy could watch the lane and halls, while this guy watches the arch push, and they could try to work together, coordinate something. They don't have the best that's why I would like this guy to still have his Molotov out, so he could molly porch, and then they could peek places together, or they could each solo peek somewhere, or just throw the flashes that the insight guy has. He should definitely throw his flashes right in front of him, just so that they flash him. They're going to stop any sort of pressure push that's going to pinch them really quickly. And it just confuses them almost. 40 seconds left, maybe they're getting a little tense. Even though they shouldn't be, maybe they are. But yeah, I definitely think that arch push might have lost them the round. Because now they realize they just killed the arch player and they killed the arch rotator. So there literally has to be one player on B. They're not doing any fancy setups where they're doing 2 people on arch and then like 2 people B and 1 player A. Most likely not. Because I didn't see that last round. So we're going to watch this guy now. How is he playing it? Well, he plays it alright. Definitely, with the damage that's put out, he should definitely get a kill. No doubt. Maybe almost get 2 kills. What happens here is he gets 1 kill, and then he dinks some other guy. Definitely fine. He's basically calling, hey, that peek right there was a little bit wide. If he would have peeked it a little bit, and then he could have killed the guy and then fallen back, even if he peeks and misses, he can at least fall back behind the box. Because obviously it's not spammable, right? He wide peeked too far and then gets sprayed down. So yeah, that's what happens there. And right here, I guess this guy doesn't know that there's still a guy in the spawn. That's rough. They kill one of the players with the bomb, and they realize, hey, the other two people can't plant in time, so I'm just gonna run, and that's what this guy does right here. I would not have re-peeked into banana there, just because that's gonna throw your gun away, and you already don't have enough money, but that's fine if you want to get kind of greedy. I would say they got lucky there, honestly. The other team shouldn't have lost that round. But they got it, so we're going to see where this brings us. So now it's 2-3, right? You're still down, but you're definitely still in the game, right? It's really close. If you look at the monies, neither team really has anything, so either team that wins this round is probably going to put the other team on a save. So what kind of setup do we have right here? Well, we have, that classic B rush, where they're going to throw their flash and they're going to rotate a guy off, and then we have a guy pit, we have a guy sight, and we have a guy here. Again, Kraft throws his smoke, which he's been throwing like the past few rounds, I think, and he continues to throw super early. I feel like if anything, it's going to stop him from getting any vision. He could definitely peek into halls, right, and find something, but he chooses not to, and I feel like he almost wastes the smoke. If he's going to be the pit player, his smoke can be super important. For example, he can just sit right here and just throw a smoke onto lane if they ever do an A execute. And that's going to do a ton of work onto them, right? Because they're going to have to throw nades basically to bring themselves out of the smoke, unless they just want to jump through and then he shoots them and they die. So I think definitely his nade usage could be a little bit better. One round maybe you smoke off apps if you feel uncomfortable, but not every round. I don't think that's anything. But still, it's alright. We have 4 other smoke. Okay, I can't write. Oh, you have to do this. We have, 4 other smokes and 2 Molotovs, a bunch of flashes. We still have some nice utility. But the thing is, literally the round just started. And you've already used some. So, maybe that could get checked out. But yeah, they do their B thing. For some reason, this team never gets B control. So it's basically gifted to you guys. So what he does, right, is he notices that they're rushing. He probably calls out, 3, 4 amount of people coming arch. But what happened again? Well, you're a little bit too exposed here. And I assume you die to this next bullet. If you're going to be playing this rotator spot, you have to watch out for if they do quick executes or if they do slow executes. If they do quick executes, you have to be not in this position that you're in right now. Because basically your full body is exposed. Let's see what happens. I do think that he threw the Molotov beforehand, so it did a little bit of damage to the other team, but he's throwing away his life and as the mid player, and that basically allows them to do any kind of split that they want. But let's see what happens here. Basically, we have a few people here now. He's in a nade over here, even though he gets just under their cover, but that's fine. And then we have 2 people in sight, right? Yeah, okay. One guy's watching arch, one guy's watching lane, and one guy's just hiding because, I don't know, they're just not going to assume that there's 3 people in the site. You get a nice nade kill, and now they're running away. This is super greedy. Definitely, their team was just there. Maybe he can hear them running away. But they could still have a guy posted up that's literally waiting for somebody to push, and then he shoots him. Maybe there's a guy sitting cubby, and he shoots this guy who's peeking for too much information. Where's that pit guy? Okay, so basically, I think it's because they don't see anything come out lane that they send him to go over. And maybe they do hear them running down mid, and that's why he decides, hey, I want to play this quick rotator spot, but he's actually not rotating, so I feel like they're just in the dark and they don't really understand what's happening. Why can't I get to this guy? Okay, so now we're going to see how does this guy play the round. He peeks, he gets 1 kill, and then he starts running away. But that's alright. What I do like... Okay, what I don't like about this is how he completely gave up guarding control without anything. I'm sure they have a man advantage, and I definitely think that's something to think about, but he has 2 flashes. I would have definitely maybe stayed in that garden area and thrown flashes off, the right wall. Um, Basically chill here, like fall back here, and then throw some flashes like this, just in the site so it delays them enough so that your team can come back in. Because your team already has, another flash and a Molotov and another flash and a smoke that you can use to retake. You don't necessarily need these 2 extra flashes. I think delaying the push is much more beneficial to your team because, look, you still have 2 people over on the A-bomb site. You're going to have to either, like wait for them to come over here or go in as like 2 parties, which is definitely less favorable. So I would definitely say delaying enough time so that your team can come up here would be really beneficial in this scenario. Because you had no player in mid, they could have wrapped without you knowing, things like that. Also, if you notice there's a bad smoke, somebody should call this, and you should definitely not stand anywhere near a bad smoke, because you have to assume that they threw it on purpose, that they're watching a crack. I don't know if they knew they had an op, but ops watch cracks and smokes all the time. Definitely something you don't want to go against. I think he gets spammed. Yeah, the guy sees his leg, and then he shoots him instead of defusing just because he feels like it. I mean, planting, not defusing. So now you have this one guy, and you have these 2 guys. And I don't think anything big comes from this. Basically, because he lost the guard control, right, he can't really get back in too easily. Yeah, so basically the round's over by this point. I don't see anybody. The main thing that I've been seeing here is a lot of people are peeking places they shouldn't. I definitely think Foxy's done like an okay job playing the B's bomb site, but I think he peeks and then he's not falling back accordingly. Basically, he's going for too many peeks, so he's dying, and he's not really giving up the bomb site because it shouldn't be his anyways. He's solo holding it, but the fact that he keeps repeaking and repeaking and repeaking and not using his utility could be a little bit worse. But that said, he shouldn't necessarily be playing alone in the B bomb site every single round. I feel like that's a little bit too much. So what do we see here? Well, I think he just had the M4 and the armor and the kit. So the way I'm looking at this is that they're gonna double save, and he's gonna have like pretty low money. If he kept the money that he had, then maybe he could purchase the op for this guy right here, while they buy pistols, or he could just throw his teammates pistols, something like that. Because I feel like his money right now is getting too low, along with this guy. Where if they double save and they lose, he's still not going to have the best buy. So maybe that's something to think about. And basically, he buys a full set of nades. I feel like that's kind of useless in this round. And also, another thing is, you send him solo B. If he dies, nobody picks up the gun to keep using it. I feel like that's kind of a waste almost. You want to at least put one person with the guy just so that randomly he could pick up the gun if the guy dies in front of him. Somehow, you end up winning this round, and I'm kind of confused. The team keeps running through this Molotov, and they keep running B. And meanwhile, did they even throw a spawn smoke? They didn't throw a spawn smoke. Okay, that's pretty important. So basically, he can count how many people are crossing and how many people aren't crossing. All these different things, and he can just shoot them. That's ridiculous. And does he do anything insane? No, he gets killed. Okay. So it's all on the pistols. And that they didn't, they're not hitting shots, and they're just dying. And they're basically playing, like a pub style, right? And they're getting pinched from everywhere now. And there's nothing.
Counter-terrorists win.
I would say the other team should have known that you were saving 100%. Basically, because you had 2 people alive here, and you had 1 guy alive here. Which means, in this last round, everybody had to buy up except for 1 guy. So you should have no money, like, at all. It should be pretty obvious that your team has no money. I guess they just weren't counting it at all. And they shouldn't have rushed that. Definitely just run through a smoke and run through a Molotov. You don't have to. When you're playing as pistols, just wait until they push, or wait and do a full execute, and then don't lose people. Don't just rush into places like that team did. But somehow you take advantage of that. But not something, I guess, to write home about. But right now you have an amazing buy, right? You have Molotovs, you have full nades on everybody. Maybe, you know, you'd like to see more Molotovs instead of, like, the extra flash, but, you know, it's sometimes preference. So you're gonna throw this. And are you doing your... I guess you're just waiting. I feel like... I don't know if you could have heard the people, but maybe you did. I feel like even if you hear people there, you don't have to necessarily throw anything, because they could just be making noise, right? And then you use your utility. Maybe be a little bit more restrictive of that, and I don't know, just don't throw it like as quickly as you have right there. Because remember, it's Inferno and the extended bomb timers, you're going to really need everything just until the end of the round. Because basically what would happen is, what if they just didn't push? Well, you used a Molotov and a smoke, and look at like the rest of the team right now, you only have 2 smokes for the rest of the round, and it's 140. Because, well, he always uses his smoke here. And where are the other smokes? I don't know, you used the smoke somewhere else too that I can't find, because there's one here and one here. But maybe somebody didn't buy one, who knows. That guy just runs through the smoke and dies, as he should. You should never just run through the smoke. One flash at least should do you something good. Oh, there's 2 smokes here. So go smoke the same smoke. Definitely coordinate things like that. You should have like a dedicated smoke person for smoking. You peek that, it's not gonna kill you. Definitely. Yeah, you guys just keep peeking here and dying. Definitely something you should not be doing, even if you have like a crossfire. Let's just look that over again from the other guy's angle. Maybe you plan something, but because it almost doesn't even matter. What?
Counter-terrorists
Where's this guy? Oh, here he is.
win.
Oh, wait. You had a A person throw a B smoke at the beginning of the round? Because he just threw his smoke. So, I assume that's where the other smoke came from, which is kind of weird. But yeah, basically you guys just peek one-on-one into banana. Which, number one, peeking into banana is really aggressive. Because if they're holding the angle, they one-hit you and you die. I don't know, but you do 2 one-on-one peeks. And I feel like that's not so hot. Because now you lost the entire bomb site. Sure, you got some kills, but you lost the bomb site. That at least gets them a plant that they shouldn't have gotten
Bomb
at
has
all.
been planted.
The top guy is gonna anybody that can. You guys really like this angle, like anybody who just sits on that railing. There we go. You get the round though. But basically, you shouldn't be peeking smokes like that on Inferno. Maybe, like you did, you picked it first,
Counter-terrorists win.
peek at a way that you can get out of it. So, for example, like this would have worked, I bet. So the smoke was here, right? And there was a guy standing right here. So that means you have a disadvantage when you're peeking from this side because they can see under it and they can see your feet as you crawl from over here. So what you should have done is maybe let this guy, maybe you stand here still and let this guy peek it coming up from here. And then peek into here. It's still not favored, but it's much favored than peeking here with your feet showing. And it basically also means that if this is smoked and he kills the guy here, then nobody can just like whip out and kill this guy. Whereas as you saw, what happened was the smoke was here, you came out here and you killed the guy here and somebody whipped out here and just killed you like this. So basically, if you see ever gaps in smokes, try to coordinate who would be better for to peek and then get that done. Yeah. But definitely over here, you want to tell this guy to stop throwing a smoke at the beginning of the round, and I feel like there were 3 smokes thrown here with, what, like a minute 30 left in the round that were thrown in this area, and they were all by the CTs. I feel like that's way too excessive. Even one at that time would be fine if you're really feeling scared, but definitely throwing 3 would not be like in your best benefit. So, you know, you won the round. Everybody has a buy, right? The pistol guy? Okay, yeah. So he's gonna come here, he's gonna op mid. Like he always has been. He's waiting for nades. So they always throw some nades. And he's fallen back, which is fine. I guess you had an arch guy supporting him this round, which means you're not gonna have your lane guy chilling on there, or the insight lane guy. But you still have your pick guy, so you know you're all good on that. And see, I feel like the two of you right here aren't working together. Because either he's too far back or you're too far forward. And that peak, I would say, is a little bit maybe too aggressive, but you guys have been doing that constantly throughout the game, so maybe it's warranted. Just because you peak every time and they're not there for some reason, the other team just never takes banana control. But this guy, he's lagging behind too much. I definitely feel like if you're going to have pushes designed around this, that you should like coordinate them. And right here is an example of how you're pushing way too aggressively. So they could peek right now and kill you, and then nothing happens other than the fact that you died. If you're going to push right there, if you're going to push up without smokes first, you definitely want to come here and stand behind this pillar, and then let a guy here throw the smoke off the wall, and then right here. Because you're way too exposed right now. You get peeked from like a guy coming back middle and looking, or getting peeked by a guy coming up here and looking, and you basically just die. Even if you weren't turned, you're still in way too much of an exposed position. Like, look at this, you're out in the open right now. Definitely something you'd want to change, because you throw the smoke anyway, right? So literally just throw it a couple seconds early and don't die. And like, you're still too exposed. Even though he's watching that angle, I feel like you could get destroyed. But basically, you know, you figured out that they're not taking B control. You could take aggressive B control. And then you're going to stay here. You're going to get the other guy to rotate off. One thing I would like to comment on is the guy who's rotating off has been the solo B player all game. So he probably has a better read on the situations that'll happen. So, I don't know, like this probably was just like somebody said, hey, I'm going to move, or hey, I'm going to stay here. But definitely try to keep the same player where they have been playing, if it's CT side. Because it's not really going to throw them off as much as, like, a terrorist player. If a terrorist player always goes somewhere and they change spot, that can throw something off. But on a counter-terrorist side, it doesn't really matter too much. People aren't going to be calling out names as much. Especially if they know nothing about your team, and this isn't like a professional game where everybody knows where everybody plays. You know, like some people know they're always like headshot and cash, you know, stuff like that. So basically now he's starting to fall back. You guys just have a smoke and a molly and a couple of flashes. The other team is going to do a full executor, I assume. That's what they've been waiting for. And see, they've realized that you just throw all of your utility out within the beginnings of the round. So they realize that, and they're playing super passive right now. Or maybe they haven't, and they're just doing that to do it. But is this the round they throw the fake that's really bad? Let's see. I feel like this guy doesn't have to be staring into a well, which is my personal opinion. Ooh, what happened here? Let's look at this. Do 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 do.
Counter-terrorists win.
If you're gonna be peeking something like that, you have to hold the angle. I wouldn't suggest peeking and repeaking and peeking and repeaking, because I think that you're peeking so much that they can hear you, as well as it's just not really advantageous when you're going up against the whole team. I feel like this is too aggressive at this point in the match, where you have 40 seconds left. Basically, what is a Molotov, 7 seconds, and they still have to push up. So if you were playing like first oranges and you had a Molotov out and you could throw it on the ledge, something like that, that's like a ton of seconds wasted, where you still have your spawn guy, which can help you stop them from getting into the site. All these I feel like this thing about, you have 30 seconds, they still have to do their execute number 1, and then they have to get past your flashes, Molotovs, all these different things. Yo, how did this guy get here? Oh, I guess damn, he's super fast. He's like quick rotated over there. That's nice. Okay, let's see what he can do. Because, let's see, are they going to smoke spawn this time? We have these two guys. Yeah, okay, we have these two guys. They didn't smoke spawn again. I don't know why he's walking out with a flash. You should be assuming that they're just going to rush, but this guy. He's whipping shots. He gets some shots through smoke. Something I've noticed, this other team just has gaps. They don't know how to throw a spawn smoke, even on the fly. Basically what I like here is he has still managed to maintain Garden. So that means when you go back to do your retake, you're going to have a lot higher chances, right? Because you don't have to retake certain parts of the site just to be able to retake the site itself. So that's really nice. You have 2 flashes, definitely something you can work with here. And I guess this guy didn't really get the memo, or he was waiting for some super flank, or waiting for some like solo guy with the bomb to come A. But I'm pretty sure it's obvious by now that they're going A. Maybe he was, oh, he was the pit guy, so maybe he took him out. But who has the flashes? We have this guy here with the flash, and we have this guy here with the flash. So basically, there's not going to be too much. I was going to say these 2 players could work together to throw the flashes. Oh, that was weird. But basically what I feel happens here and why you fail is you keep going in one by one. So this guy's gonna go. I think he dies first. Maybe not. Yeah, he dies to that boost guy, you know, and you could say it's an off angle, who knows, but he doesn't get it. I don't know, it just doesn't seem to himself. He gets a kill, but nothing else. In that situation, I would have liked if the 2 guarding guys pushed in together, using the spool as like a backup, so you don't get shot from banana. And then as they're pushing up and checking towards the right, that the spawn guys come up and they check banana and pit. Something like that. I felt like it was too 1 by 1 for me. So what's happening here? Well, this one guy is dropping everybody pistols because he has a lot of money. Because remember, he didn't die that one round where he had the M4. I mean, what happens here again? Well, basically, you don't really do too much, right? It's a save round. Try to stack something. You're playing really wide angles again. You know, this is a great spot here with 2 flashes. Definitely amazing. This spot isn't going to really do too much as you get spammed down. Pit, you're just too far from anything, honestly. If they're going to do an execute, Pit will be great. But if they don't, and another thing to keep in mind is the other team hasn't been doing executes. You can't rely on them coming close to you. So, or them having to go through smokes, which make them close to you. So you're going to have to get close to them. So basically, you're going to take spots, which are close. Like, this is a close spot, right? Unless you get mollied out, which they should do. They should realize they're saving, but, you know, they don't have very good money management throughout the game. Then they have to come here, and then, like, you're right next to them. What are other good spots? Like, if you're going to chill up in Boiler is a good spot. Anywhere in here, really. Maybe if you want to push. You guys, I've noticed that, actually. You haven't really pushed anywhere. Apps push is a common thing that you guys haven't really done. You could even do a banana push if you want. It's super high risk, but you haven't done it, so I feel like you can have super high reward because they don't take banana control and they don't watch for a banana. You could not really push mid too much, but definitely try pushing apps one round because I noticed you guys haven't done that at all. But I just feel like you're playing too far. Let's see what happens. Okay, well I can't somehow toggle to the right people. Basically everybody dies, right? Nobody's near anybody, nobody even hits anybody.
Bomb has been planted.
But this round's kind of... One big problem that I've seen, like, time and time again, is it seems like
Terrorists win.
the callouts aren't necessarily or they're even happening at all. People will. There's gonna be like hordes of people running somewhere, and I feel like people aren't expecting them to be there. Just one thing as a side note. You guys are gonna come here. You're gonna fly up. He dropped the op. No, he did not. Let's see. I would have dropped the op in this situation. I feel like he's getting kills of some sort, right? And he's your. It seems like he's your opper. You like after the first round, you save 2 rounds just to get him an opper. I don't know anything, but I would assume that if you could, you should definitely get him an op instead of buying the M4 head armor and full set of nades, because you need something, right? Your normal strats really aren't working like super well holding them back. It's almost like the other team is putting themselves into death. Right? They're running through Molotovs, they're running through smokes, all these different things. So if you can just wait for them to mess up, and then you can have your fraggers frag when they mess up, things like that, I think will help you out a lot. Maybe he didn't want the op, I don't know, of course, right? So what do you have? So look at this. We have 1 Molotov and 5 smokes. And the round just started. Let's see how many smokes you guys can retain. Let's see, is he gonna throw his smoke? No? Okay, he throws the mid smoke, which is fine, right? I know a lot of people don't like throwing early mid smokes because they feel like it doesn't do too much. Like most notably Dazed, I think, really doesn't like it. Oops. Oh, he has a smoke out. No, okay. The Craft throws his, patented apps smoke, which really doesn't do too much, but actually gives them apps. Makes them not have to worry about anybody coming from the corner. I feel like literally almost that helps them. What's this Molly do? Well, Molly doesn't really do anything. I feel like he's scared of getting rushed every round, and he shouldn't. The other team has not been rushing A ever. If they ever rush, they rush B, and if they just haven't rushed A, so there's nothing for him to be scared about. He keeps throwing all these nades when he doesn't have to be. So definitely, like, maybe he's getting nervous. That's what it seems like. Which is odd because he's playing, the pit role, which is for people that don't get nervous at all. Is that another mid smoke? Yeah, okay. The reason, like, some people don't like mid smokes is they feel like it doesn't really stop you from getting map control, right? They're gonna have mid control still. They're gonna have apps control still. Sure, it stops you from getting killed, and from them from knowing where you are, or if you're not holding. For them not to know if you're holding, these corner angles, but it doesn't really do too much for you. Like if they're gonna execute on you, you're just gonna get blasted because you don't have any smokes to stop them. So right now in the round, what do you have for utility? Well, you just have the B smokes, and as you know, most people don't know how to smoke A from B. So right now, I don't really like this spot too much. Oh no, he's waiting for the B, right? Because they have the arch. He's not watching arch. They threw a flash. A, I guess. A peeks, kind of a bad flash. But whatever. Now they're coming B. So this is why I really don't like the earlier rotation off of B, especially when it's a 5v5. I feel like it's not really necessary too much. Because now they're going to execute on the B and you have 1 person when you have 5 people alive. But he just gets smoke off. He just threw a flash. There's a second flash, which is great, right? This is what I wanted to do earlier. It's basically delaying their push. Now they know where he is, though. That's the problem. Oh, gets 2 kills. Okay, they should have killed him. You're here, you're like, I'm going to kill this guy, and then they have this guy alive. Who can't really do much, right? And like, it's just like, but it's because you threw a smoke and you threw a couple flashes, and that's literally all you need to keep the B bomb site and make it so they can't push, right? And that's what I think is really important. From looking at this demo, you can see whenever you've thrown flashes versus when you haven't flashes, the different rates at which it'll be successful at. guy's showing off his spray control. Is he gonna do a mid peek? No. Okay. See, like, I guess they've noticed that this guy opts mid, and they're like, hey, he could have an op. I don't know. But look, they're doing a quick mid, and this is great, right? They have there's a crack in their own smoke on purpose for them, I guess. But he should have gotten more kills. He only gets one. They're gonna rush up Arch. Let's see, can this guy do anything? He throws a flash. I definitely think he should learn how to throw the flash that, like, it bounces off, you know, the roof, and then it comes back here. Because he keeps throwing all these flashes that really shouldn't be flashing them, even though they are. Definitely something to learn right there. Oh, okay. I don't know if he ran out of bullets or whatnot, but does not get that when I feel like he should have. Now they should expect you here, and you should know that they're gonna expect you here. You throw a nade, that's all right, I guess. And you block off them from, you know, rushing into there. Just say they're trapped. If I were you right here, I probably wouldn't peek, honestly. Maybe they heard you. Maybe they realize, hey, he Molotov'd Arch, so he's gonna go library. But I wouldn't peek this. I feel like it's a little bit too greedy. Sure, you have a guy alone on the site, but you know there's at least one guy Arch. Then you would think maybe there's a second guy Arch. He can hold his own. He's gonna be alright. If the guy comes porch, he has to jump, make noise. And if the guy comes lane, he gets killed. But I think you do. You know, the guy... Oh, well, it was even smoked Arch, too. That's weird. That he just wasn't looking there. But I guess he was trying to kill Pit. Which...
Counter-terrorists win.
And you guys win the round nonetheless. But why is that again? Well, I think they're just... The other team is rushed. Every time the other team plays it slow, they win. I mean, most of the times they play it slow, they win. When they do something methodical, it really kills your team, because you're... It seems like you leave the guy alone on B, and if he doesn't kill everybody, then you kind of lose the round. And that's what you're kind of playing off right now. And if they rush anywhere, they just lose. And that's where you get some of the wins. So he throws... Oof. That's smoke. Oh yeah, if your videos ever get like staticky like this, just press the pause and then like start it back up and it should be fine. What the hell? Okay, so why are we winning this round here? Let's see. Another thing, I haven't really seen the other team do too many executes with their smokes and with all their flashes and Molotovs. It seems like even if they do throw a smoke, like they don't have A site takes. They have, I'm going to throw a smoke, and I'm going to throw a flash, and I'm going to run through. Their B site, we did see, well, not really. We saw in the very beginning of the game, actually, they had A takes. I mean, they had B takes. But then they stopped doing B takes, they stopped doing A takes. And why they did that, I'm not really too sure. Because it was working out for them a little bit. But what happens here? So you throw this nade. One thing to notice, you didn't have to walk as far as you did to get that nade. You could have walked like a little bit shorter. But basically, you hear them running, and right here, if you know they're on an eco, that's fine. See, like this is the difference. Right now, you know that maybe that they don't have enough money to buy, so you hear a rush, so then you throw your nades. That's perfectly fine. The other round that I didn't like it is when they were on a buy, and you knew they were on a buy, and you threw all these smokes, or maybe they were on eco too, but you threw all of your utility away. And they didn't rush, and that's why I got you. But here, if you're expecting the rush, like they've been running quickly every round for the past couple rounds, right? Into a bomb site, whether it's A or B. So now it's fine, because you're expecting another rush. And I'm not just saying that because you got kills versus when you didn't get kills. I'm saying that because of like the situation and what is happening. Because I doubt that, like, you went into the other team's VODs, and you looked at all of them, and anytime they come B, they rush. Because if that was the case, then the other time, it was very valid for you to throw the early grenades whenever you hear them rush. Because if they always rush, then they're always going to rush. But I doubt that you've looked into every one of their VODs and seen that. So like now you have the lead. Let's see, is this guy gonna take a peek of some sort? Is he gonna do his alt peek? Okay, he's throwing his flash. And yep, he's gonna do his little alt peek here. Are you gonna do your... Okay, so what's gonna happen is you're gonna flash this guy into a banana. I don't like the spot. It's like, if you're gonna do it, you have to do it almost. I feel like he's too exposed for too long. If they throw some kind of flash, some kind of Molotov, you guys are gonna get destroyed. Like, sure, you haven't been playing aggressive at all, like lately, and the other team should notice that. And they should push up banana for once, but they don't. But let's see. So there's flash, right? Okay, you throw smoke. And then, okay, I guess maybe you got scared. I don't really know what you were doing there. So you smoked it off. If the smoke comes out, you should be able to walk out. The flash isn't going to necessarily stop anybody from spraying through the smoke. I'm a little confused, honestly, but it happened. I witnessed it. So he's watching this again, which is great. The spot's really good, right? Because they have to shoot through a hole almost to kill you, and look at that, you get one kill, and then you fall back to a different angle, which is nice. And you re-smoke mid. Now you're at 5v4. What do you have? An easy win. It's Inferno, B. You still have 2 Molotovs, which is fine. You have 30 seconds left. Where are the Molotovs at? They're both on... Oh, okay. Well, there's one on B. So basically, your B player should be kind of fine solo holding the bomb site. But the thing is, he shouldn't have to be alone. Why not have 2 people B? You still have 3 people on A, right? I think that like they should be able to hold the site. You don't really know that they're going to go A. There's nothing... You haven't peeked B. You haven't really done too much to know for a fact that they're not going A. And definitely A people could hold a 3v4. It's definitely doable. But I guess you want to be here supporting this guy. I think you're too far away to support him. Like if he gets hit, you're too far. So maybe you might, if you're going to really support him and he's going to be playing this angle right here, then I would almost like if you're here. Because what happens if they jump here and they jump around the corner, then you pop out and you just kill them as they jump by. But if you're over here and they jump around, well then maybe they kill him before you see him, something like that. I feel like you're just too far away. Maybe you feel like because your B player has a Molotov that it's fine. Maybe you throw this Molotov and they die. For me, like the hardest part, or like for this demo, is I don't see any executes by the T side, so I can't be like, hey, you know, you responded to this execute poorly or this execute poorly. It just seems like their team is scrimming a lot. And that you throw all like the nades early on. That would be like the biggest thing that I see, honestly. Is there just too many nades being thrown. Like, you've already used 2 smokes, which is fine here, but it's the fact that who threw that second smoke, it's this... Wait. Yeah, so, like, he already threw 2 nades. I don't know, I'm not a big fan of that. Once again, they're doing their... Okay, so, like, let's put it like this. So, if you ever if you ever push somewhere in any round, you'd figure out where they are, where they aren't. This team doesn't split up and take map control, which is another reason I can't, like, critique this too well. Basically, like, let's say you did have this guy who pushed through apps, right? What would he see? Well, he would see nothing. So they're all B, they're all in banana. Like, I don't know, it's something like, pushing some rounds is definitely good. You know, pushing every round isn't good, but pushing some rounds and finding information is really good. I think it was Envy that every minute like every minute left on the clock, they would push apps together. I think they would do a two-man apps push, or maybe just a one-man apps push. But they would do that for a while. They did that in every game, just because it was working for them, and they found out they were getting great map control at that time. But definitely early and late pushes are still good. So now they know he's here again, probably because the flashes where they came in. I'm not really too sure, but you have a great setup to hold this. Look, they're all blind. They're coming through. You have this coffin guy who can come in and make sure they're not wrapping over to A. And I think they missed their smoke again. And then basically, if a guy spools, the guy's second orange. So they have to push up somewhere where they can be shot by one person to shoot the other one. It seems like they know you're there. They're waiting for you. Play the other round. Ooh, you just got wrecked. And now it's a 2v2. So how could you handle this? You're both pushing banana. Well, okay, so the problem here, and I think the reason you lose this round, is like this guy is running. So they hear him. So they know, hey, there's one guy banana. So now that's something. They get smoke off banana, and then you're just kind of done for the round. I don't think they even do that, honestly. They smoke spawn, so they're like, hey, there's one guy banana. Well, let's just really focus on him, kill him. And if there's a second guy there, we'll kill him too. If there's a spawn guy, he's probably going to be pushing construction now. And yeah, so like you're getting flashed. They know you're there. So he's running. And it's just not oh, no. So what happens here? So this is kind of like the most basic thing in CS. It's trade kills, right? So you have a guy here and you have a guy here. They're right next to each other. This guy dies, this guy moves to the right, he dies. Now watch as the distance on the minimap between them changes. So he's going to be throwing some flashes. You know, I don't really know what that one did, but he did something. Look where they are now. They're nowhere near each other. If one dies, the other one can't get the frag. And that's how it's going to remain. Basically, he's going to die right here, right? Yeah. Okay, he gets shot in the back. Now, where's this guy? Well, this guy's nowhere near him. And sure, maybe the other guy was too fast, but maybe this guy was too slow. It doesn't really matter. It's just the fact that your team isn't playing together, right? You're not necessarily like clearing angles too well either. But you want to jump. You want to either like one guy jump around things, the other guy go, or one guy literally just follow the other guy. Because basically, he dies. Okay, so you do get the kill, but it was really risky. That guy could come out and just kill both of you. 1v1.
Counter-terrorists win.
So I'm only gonna watch a couple T rounds, just because I want to like make this as a big fact. I don't see many executes coming out from you guys either. As much as the other team didn't execute, you guys didn't really execute. I want to see like some 4-man A smokes, 3-man A smokes, where you smoke off pit, truck, and you know arch or something like that. But I will watch a couple rounds. But you know you're up 9-6. That's fine, right? So maybe it's not the best Inferno score to have, but it's good. So we're gonna skip this. Okay, this is not the round. Shit. Okay, so that was a real round. Okay, so here comes the round. What do we have for a buy here? We have 2 armor so far. 3 armor. A nade. And the 4th armor. That's fine. You definitely, if on anything, you don't really need well, you definitely don't need 2 naders on a team. One can go pretty far. So what happens here? Oh, you have to do T-side numbers now. Who gets this kill? I remember it happening. What? Oh, okay, I was clicking the wrong numbers. Okay, so basically, he gets the kill here, but I really don't like how he goes about it. So, I guess he's trying to do like a, you know, like a body glitch where they can only see half his body, something like that. But the thing I don't like is that he's playing a super long range game here. He has to hit this guy and headshot him, while this guy only has to headshot him, right? And I feel like it's really not too hard of an angle for this guy. to kill this guy at. So like even moving up here gives him such a better chance. And then of course jumping in the pit where he can head glitch the other guy gives him a like way better chances. Here, I feel like he almost gets lucky that the other guy doesn't kill him first. But he does get the kill. So that's something. So what do you have here? Well, you have amazing map control. And this is something I don't see much for the rest of the map. You have people in B, you have people in A, you have, you're going for this boost over here. Well, not boost, just a jump to get apps control, and this guy's gonna come out. Okay, well, you kind of get apps control by yourself, hoping that they are not anyone over here. I would have liked if Foxy went up with you, or if he walked up here and came here and cleared this, and while you cleared it with him, and then you can walk over here, just so it's safer. But you're figuring, hey, the team isn't going to take too much map control, maybe, so let's just get it. Meanwhile, over here, if these guys finding out that they're not being interesting smoke. It's not like the one way, but it's close, I guess. I don't know. Yes, he's trying to like look at it. So you're like, hey, we have full banana control. We can either do a B take and not be scared that they're going to be aggressive on us, or we can do an A take and they won't know we're coming A. Basics, yes. Ooh. I feel like that smoke misses. Ooh, yeah, probably did. Okay, so that smoke misses. Oh, luckily there's nobody there to look right by that smoke and kill any of you. Because the mid player died before. I guess you just wrap this lane, and you kill him. Yeah, okay, you just come in and you slaughter this guy, and there's no way that you lose this round.
Bomb has been planted.
I think this is the man to watch because he actually gets 2 of the kills, right? Basically what you need here is somebody watching every exit. You should be fine. The other guy that gets the kill.
Terrorists win.
Pretty simple, right? You just got frags. There's nothing really special you did there. I assume your smoke was supposed to go arch, but yeah, you just got kills that round. There's nothing really special about this strat. One thing I notice here, let me go back to it real quick. So the score is 6 and it's Inferno. So I would just assume that that's what they're going to do. So what would I prefer here? So if you think that they're going to buy out, you should definitely buy more rifles than SMGs, right? Because your SMG isn't really going to do too much against armor. So what could you do? Well, you could have gotten this guy. Okay, whatever. This guy could have gotten an AK. This guy does get an AK, and this guy does get an AK, which is fine. You could have that, and then have the other 2 guys get SMGs. But really, on Inferno, I would like to have a lot of, like, sure you can jump around a lot of corners, but you can definitely get destroyed by pistols. And if you can't one-hit people, then you can be in a world of pain. They only get 2 body armor, which is nice for you. But they could all have P250 head armor. They start rushing down B, and I guess you just kill them. Oh yeah, they also didn't have flashes, and they rushed down B without flashes, so it's basically just, hey, can you kill them? Because you're just running down into people with bullets. So that's one thing you did right here. And I had to think about this one for a second, because I was trying to find advantages and why that wouldn't necessarily work. So is he the one that throws? So he goes here and throws the smoke. So what does that do? Well, why would a C? Okay, so like this area right here is a place where the CTs would normally smoke it, right? And why would they do that? Well, CTs normally want to throw a ton of lower banana smokes so that it pinches you to go up towards A, right? That's something to think about. Um, so I would think by doing this, you're pinching your own team out of B, and then you're allowing them to get into whatever setup they want. But other than that, why would you want to do it? Well, maybe, it's justified that you want to smoke this off if you actually do want to go A, because maybe you saw the other two people, I'm not really too sure. Maybe you saw them and you're like, hey, we don't want them to push, so we're going to throw this smoke, and then we're going to rush up A. But you don't rush A either. So why exactly was this smoke thrown? Because I don't really understand. Um, but basically, yeah, like, okay, so what I would have done if I was the other team is I would have literally just rotated everybody A. So it's your save round, and they pinch themselves A, I would have probably just called everybody come A. Automatically. You gotta take a gamble, right? So take the gamble that they're gonna go A, and you guys do go A, because basically you pinched yourself, right? So you could have walked into something. Luckily, okay, luckily, you get the kills anyway, so it doesn't really matter too much. But it could have gone really poorly, right? If they had both guys running through arch at that time, and then maybe they get a trade kill on this guy, and then they kill something else, it could have spiraled really poorly. So I'm just gonna watch a couple more rounds. Do. Does this guy get the kill? Yes, he does. Does he get the save? Probably.
Terrorists win.
Okay, so he's saving, I got. But you save 2 rifles against a full buy. It's not your best thing to show for that round, but it's something. Right here, I would definitely buy an SMG for somebody. Just because... Yeah, okay, that's a great buy. Just because one guy's a rifle, so you want to suicide somebody to get that rifle down. Or... Why is this guy doing this too? He's playing solo sight with the one gun. Like, it makes sense, so, like, he can get a kill. If he trades 1 for 1 and the rest of the team maybe does something, but I feel like it's too risky. He could just die instead. So what are we doing here with this SMG? Okay, he's being our main banana pusher. That's what you should do. Obviously, them with the SMG isn't really that beneficial. Especially if they don't have armor. Maybe they bought because, you only had 2 guys left and you had 1 gun saved, but, probably not. But they could have. That flash, that is some weird controller action. He dies, but you get the trade kill. So what's happening right now? So that's fine. Like, think about what we talked about at the beginning of the round. You're suiciding that guy for the rifle. That's fine. If I was you, I'd be fine with that. So you smoke spawn. Here, we get some pistols. Okay, so if I'm going against pistols again, and we just lost, and they're probably going to double save, I'd watch out for, like, a random deagle to come out. Which could have happened right there. So almost wait for that smoke to happen. And then spray into the smoke. Just to watch out for things like that. Because Inferno can be insane with deagles, right? It's also something I noticed. Nobody has deagles in this game. I don't think I've seen a single one buy. It's quite interesting. So basically, they're stacking B. But the thing is, what just happened? And why should you not actually go B? So your players were here and they came up here. What does this say? Well, that means they're not controlling arch. So yeah, you could do an arch split, but you could be walking into their entire team, right? So what really is so bad about them coming up here, leaving 1 guy here, and then like 1 guy staying here? And then the other two come around here and just come up lane. What is so bad about that? You basically cleared this spot, right? So at least try to get some info. Like, maybe send the guy into the A site. Maybe kind of suicide him. Not really suicide. Maybe send him with a teammate so we can get a trade kill and suicide and just see if they can spot the team. Because you don't really have any info. And what you do have is a bunch of players in your face. It doesn't end up mattering. You get the kills once again. But you definitely
Terrorists win.
But it definitely could have gone a lot worse. If they were playing in the site instead of like jumping around places and being on top of everything, it definitely could have got a lot more kills. Like if they were playing double emo, demo new box, they could have done a lot more. But let's see how your first fight round, whatever gun round goes. Oops. What happened to him? Oh, yeah, okay, I know what happens this round. And I saw this. Lift your gun and you'll get kills. I'll just watch why he does. So it's him and his friend right here going into B, right? But what do they do? Well, he pulls out a nade. He should, if he's wanting to, if he wants to throw this nade, he should be throwing it a lot earlier. Because you see the guy's already a car. So like, okay, so you're gonna be like, oh, at least he can get the trade kill. The guy behind him. Well, he's got a nade too. So basically, and I don't know why, but it's not showing the other guy on his screen, but he's obviously in front of him. If he dies, there's no trade kill. So he dies, and the other guy can't trade because he's slightly behind them as well, but he also is throwing a nade. So now it's a 4v5 Inferno. The other team only has one smoke, so you got that going for you. But what is this guy doing on mid? Is that a decoy? Yeah, it's a decoy. Yeah, okay. Ugh, ugly skin. So yeah, it's a decoy. But basically, you still have control of places. Everywhere except for Banana, if you want to go take it with your team. That guy's playing Dark, which is unconventional, right? Okay, so you have this mid control. You're gonna smoke off Arch. You're gonna volley Dark. Ooh, okay, that was rough. Right as you look away, that guy slaughters your team as he walks through smoke. The one-on-one Dark, I feel like you should have got the kill. If you're gonna do a take like this, throw the Molotov and wait. Like, wait the 2 seconds. I feel like it's a lot more beneficial than running out, because the Molotov isn't even gonna hurt him. And he may sit in it for a little bit. But once again, I feel like there wasn't a real take here. All you did was throw one smoke and one Molotov. And then, what was it like? Because I know a lot of people like to throw B smokes from alt. I guess you just threw it randomly. But what do we got here? Okay, so you're just gonna save for the next round. Okay. You're gonna buy some nades, okay. And you're only on a 1 round loss bonus, so you don't want to buy too much, that's fine. One thing I would like that I noticed is this guy doesn't even throw any nades, so I just throw something. Like, the round's basically a throwaway round, right? So just throw your nades, try to do something. He doesn't throw his nades all around. And plus, like, maybe on this round where you have a ton of money, right? And you're all buying, like, these expensive weapons and, armor and stuff, buy some smokes. Throw a smoke, like, execute somewhere. I don't know, just try to do something, you know, juice it up. You flash their mid, okay. They boosted up. So you can't really account for that, but you should have died even if they didn't boost.
Terrorists win.
So here's your first buy. This is like as far as I'm gonna watch here. And then I'll upload it real quick. Oops. So we're gonna look at your setup. So you're starting to get, you know, map control. Do you have 3 people in banana? Yeah, okay. And you all take I think this. This is why you don't rush. This is why you're gonna have, why you want to have like 1 or 2. Simply, you can just take a ton of damage. You can just take people trying to take the site.
Terrorists win.
Okay, I'll watch a little bit more. I don't really care about saving so much. I like the You get 2 kills, that's fine. But let's see, where's this guy gonna op? So this is supposed to be your big round here. You're supposed to start going back. And I notice you've lost 4 rounds in a row. I think you just keep losing. Okay, you notice they like to take people home. Okay, so what I would recommend is if you're gonna do something like this, just don't go B. They've destroyed you B the past couple rounds, right? Just don't go B. If you're gonna have an opper posted up here, just leave him there. I wouldn't recommend going through this, like just looking through the smoke because you can't see them. Maybe you have high shaders so you can, but I can't. And they can pre-fire you basically. They can just walk up to the car and look above you and shoot, and you don't know exactly when to shoot them. I don't know. They smoked you out now. So now it's a 4v5. You shouldn't win this round. They still have 4 smokes to work with as well. What's going on here? Are you chilling in halls? Oh, I think you were looking into like apps or something. I'm not really too sure. Okay, basically, is that yours?
Counter-terrorists win.
Okay, good. You throw. Okay, I thought you threw the smoke for a second. That's fine. I just noticed they didn't have a smoke, so I thought that was gonna be his. So what's happening here is I think you guys are spending too much time on this smoke. Basically, like you're devoting 2 people to watching the smoke, which is kind of alright, but you have to do something with that. You have to boost. Like you maybe you have like 1 guy watching the smoke and 1 guy sitting pit watching mid. I just feel like you're not enough time to actually getting map control. They've already got you a man down, so you're gonna have to work that much harder to get control of everywhere. And maybe use the smoke to help you, like. And like this round's over. Oh, he does get a pick. Dude, yeah, you're peeking way too wide with a molly out. Okay, so if you're gonna have a molly like that, definitely just throw it here. Don't try to get fancy and throw it in other places. Just throw it here, so you don't have to check here, and then walk up and then like check here if you want. Also, what you're gonna do is like throw a flash somewhere. Blind their team with something.
Terrorists win.
But yeah, okay, so that's honestly, like, you guys just don't really do anything that I can, like, see to help you with. It just seems like you're not really doing executes and you just don't hit shots. And I don't really know how to help you other than, like, watch professional teams and see how, like, what kind of executes they do. Like, watch old Titan VODs if you want, or watch new LG VODs, or new, like, Fnatic VODs, if, like, whatever your style is, or whatever style you want us to do. Go look at that and see how they do their T sides. Maybe some old TSM when they were doing really well on Inferno. But it just seems like there aren't too many strats in there.